Okay guys, I recently got the Platinum in Warhammer 40,000 Space Marines 2, and I'm going to show you a good place to grind the trophy. Still a true son of the Emperor. Kill 41,000 enemies, all game modes combined. You want to go into the campaign and you want to pick the first mission, which is called Skyfire. You want to get to this location where you have the broken bridge, and I'm going to show you where there's an excellent checkpoint where you can get basically an infinite amount of enemy spawns, and it's these kind of tiny little enemies that are really easy to kill. There's also quite a lot of good weapons there. There's some heavy bolter guns, which are basically 200 round LMGs. There's about 15 grenades and quite a few red canisters that you can blow up. So carry on playing into the mission. It's about 10-12 minutes into the mission. You'll get to this place. The checkpoint is make your way through the swamp, and you drop down here where with your allies. So this is the arena that I'm talking about, and you're basically going to wait for this massive gate behind you to open. As you can see, there's quite a few red canisters around. I'm also going to show you where the heavy bolters are. So over here in the gun rack, there's a heavy bolter here. That's number one. The second one is right over here. Next to it is also 3 frag grenades. And then over here in the swamp area around the back is a third heavy bolter. These 3 are really going to come in handy. They've got 200 bullets each. You can't reload them. Right, when the enemies are starting to get ready to come, you're going to aim right there. You can see those 2 sets of red canisters, and there's another one here. So you're going to wait until enemies are passing both sets of canisters, because they always blow up at the same time. So wait for that, and then then come over here, wait till you see enough enemies there, and then enemies will start climbing up this wall and the wall behind. You can start letting off a few shots into there. I throw a grenade. Yeah, in the end I throw 3 grenades, pick up these 3 right here. When they climb in this wall, there's loads of them there, more than you actually realize. Because they're all just on top of each other. And then over here is also more frag grenades, so you can keep reloading those. Yeah, get a few shots off. So as you're playing this, eventually the gate will open, and normally if you're finishing the campaign, you'll turn around and go into the gate and get into the next checkpoint. And what you're going to do is you're not going to go into that gate. And the good thing is here, even if you get damaged and you go down, your colleague Sharon or Gabriel will come and revive you, I think up to 3 times. There's also quite a few medical stims as well, so you can heal yourself. And you've got Righteous Fury, where if you damage enemies, you will get your health back. So I'm kind of just killing enemies here using grenades. Also, if you break these boxes back here, there's more grenades. Yeah, I'm killing these enemies because I'm waiting for the checkpoint to occur, which is when the gate has finally been opened and your 2 allies kind of leave you and go back to the gate. They'll always come out if you go down and need reviving, but they kind of just go back and shoot from a distance, so then you can have all the enemies to yourself. Obviously all these enemies are counting towards your trophy. What I found with this checkpoint is if you do it the way I'm doing it, you spend about 5 minutes on this checkpoint. And on PlayStation 5, if you look at the trophy for Still a True Son of the Emperor, you'll have a percentage allocated to it, which is telling you how close you're getting to 100%, which is 41,000 kills. So each time I did this checkpoint, we'll call it, this kind of little 5-minute session, I would increase my percentage from, on average, normally around 2%, but if I had a really good run, I would increase it by 3 to 4%. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but honestly, if you're getting 2% every 5 minutes, you can do the math. You can kind of grind this out in a few hours. I thought this was going to take me ages, but it actually didn't in the end, and I ended up doing it across 2 sessions. I think I got from 45% to I think 80% in an hour and a half. Now I get the heavy bolter, as you can see, and this is where I try to focus my fire. When you have the heavy bolter, you just obviously want to focus on these small enemies, but ideally you want to get them when they're climbing the wall, especially down here, because down here there's so many enemies. Whenever you're shooting down there, as you can see, the cursor is always going to be a red cross. You're always killing and doing damage. obviously these guys start attacking you a bit too much, so it's also worth just killing these guys. But yeah, empty that. So all 200 bullets dedicated to killing these small enemies. I run over here and use this red gas can to kill them. I quickly execute him just because he happens to be in the way and he was there. The big enemies are annoying. I try to kind of just avoid them. I come over here. There's this gas canister here. It doesn't really damage you if you play on easy. And there's one more here, as you can see on the floor. Wait till they all surround that and then just unload and shoot that one. Throw a few grenades in there, and then I throw a grenade here just to get these enemies out my way. I'm now going to make my way over to here and use this other red canister. So yeah, kill quite a few there. Reload my grenades, get the second heavy bolter, and then I throw a grenade here just to clear these guys. Execute him just because it was there, it was in the way and easy to do. And then I kind of want to get back into that position where I can shoot these guys as they're climbing the wall. I feel like, yeah, you get so many kills if you aim your gun here. This is the best place, I think. Get the heavy bolter and just aim at the base of that wall while they're climbing. Eventually, they would have all climbed up and you can just start shooting them here. I ignore the freeze. I think I just checked my percentage, which unfortunately doesn't show when you capture the gameplay on the PS5. It doesn't show you going to your menu and checking the trophy percentage. Yeah, execute this guy, and then they come back. Once you kill all the little enemies, eventually they just start running again, and they only come to this wall. They don't go to the original wall on the right side of where we're looking now. And yeah, that is really pretty much the grind. We're about, I'd say, 5 minutes into this grind, if you ignore the first 2 minutes of the video, which was me getting here. There's some medical stims if you need. There's also a red canister here, so you can kind of wait for enemies to come, which is what I'm doing now. So yeah, I'm waiting for these enemies to come, and I can blow up this red gas can. Take a bit of shield damage, but that's fine. Also, I should have said this at the start, but I'm playing on easy mode. Originally, I was doing this on normal, and I just didn't even think about it. But then the second time I did the grind, which is where I got the platinum, I set it to easy just to make it obviously easier and kill the enemies quicker. So they all happen to be behind me. So with this heavy bolter, I'm just going to take all these guys out here. And they're climbing up that wall already, so I'm going to just take them down as and when I see them, once I get them into a big group. And, oh, no, they're still climbing the wall, so that's good. So you can still, yeah, think of all the enemies we're just taking out with that red bolt, with that heavy bolter. It's really good. I found this to be the easiest way to do this, and it actually ends up being quite quicker. So I've used up my heavy bolters, my 3 heavy bolters. I've used all of the grenades, and I've used all the red canisters. I just reset checkpoint, and you start exactly here, kind of in the middle of that setting. For some reason, when I started reloading checkpoint, the red canisters weren't spawning in, which is really weird. They normally always do, but this time around they didn't. But keep doing the same routine. So blow up that first red canister in the distance, turn to the right and blow up that one, and then come to this wall. They only climb on this wall in the beginning when the gate's waiting to open. Once the gate's open, they'll only climb on that wall that you're looking at now. And then, yeah, I think this is me figuring out that there's not many red canisters, but I just kept doing the same routine as you saw. Use up all of the grenades that you have here. Use up all of these red canisters that I've showed you. Those 2 over there. There's that one solo in the right corner. There's one over there by that rock. Here you can see there. And there's one close to the gate where the medical stims were. And of course the key thing is use all your grenades and the heavy bolters. You want to keep these heavy bolters for when there are tons and tons of enemies on your screen, and then you can just grind the kills. So yeah, this is what I did to get the last trophy for my platinum, which was kill 41,000 enemies. It's it's just one of those unnecessary grindy trophies, because when you finish the game and you do the campaign, you do the operations, and once you pop most of the trophies, you're going to be at about, obviously depending on how you play, but I was on about 12,000 kills, just to give you some reference. And I obviously had to get 30,000 more kills, which is completely over the top, but it is what it is. This is the easiest way to get the kills. I think by the time I got all the trophies, I was at about 40% of the 41,000 kills, so I had a long way to go, but a couple of hours of this and I grinded out the trophy no problem whatsoever. I think it probably, if I count my 2 sessions, it took me 2 hours in total, maybe a tiny bit over 2 hours. So yeah guys, load up some podcasts, get some albums you've always wanted to listen to in your headphones, or get a party chat with your friend while they're doing it, wherever it takes you, just to keep you entertained whilst you do this mindless grind, quite frankly. But yeah, as you can see, look at all those enemies down there on that wall. That's the best place for you to shoot when you have the heavy bolter. So yeah guys, I hope this helps you and helps you get the platinum. I got the platinum. This game took me about 3 weeks. I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. 3-person co-op, operations, campaign, multiplayer trophies. It's one of those platinums that makes you do every single thing in the game, play with every single class, which I think is really good. So yeah, I hope this video helps you to grind out this trophy and help you get the trophy. And if you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, give me the thumbs up. It'd be really appreciated. See you in the next video.
Focus on taking down the hive.